Hey guys and gals, thank you for tuning in. This particular video, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert Newman. I'm a real estate tech entrepreneur. I'm a real estate online marketing consultant. I've been doing things that relate to marketing in real estate, in residential real estate for 13 years, I think. And today, what I'm going to talk to you about is a topic that's weighing heavily on everybody's mind, which is how do we market ourselves, or basically how do we do business? Actually, this video is more like how do you do business in the days of coronavirus? Now, it's interesting because you might ask yourself, why is this dude, having this conversation, and how is he qualified? Well, for those of you that don't know me well and may be new to me, I've actually been a virtual entrepreneur. I run a company of 18 people in what's called a distributed workforce, which means that we never see each other. I don't sit in the same office as any of my employees or contractors. And what's more, I rarely see them. We use virtual tools 100% of the time. And actually, these days, I prefer to use virtual tools. The days in which I go to offices or visit with people is extremely rare, and I rarely find those meetings to be more efficient. I actually usually feel like doing business virtually is not only easier, it's more productive. I can get more done when I'm doing business virtually. So, without any further ado, let's talk about how you, the residential agent or broker, is going to be able to do business right now, today, in the days of the coronavirus. So let's just say you want to maintain some social distancing. How do we go about that? All right. So first and foremost, the tool that I'm using right now is called Screencastomatic. Okay, there's a free version of it. You can do little films like this. Okay, I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. It allows you to record videos. The reason I'm starting off with Screencastomatic, because there's many tools that would allow you to record videos, is it's easy, it's browser-based, it takes 5 minutes to learn, and the starter account costs nothing. There's other tools that you can use, and I'm going to get into those, but this tool, so that everybody understands, like, how would you, because this is not a two-way communication tool. This is a record a video tool, record your screen tool. And why would I be suggesting that you use it? Well, in many cases, most cases, I think, there's probably a very small handful of agents out there that might still be using paper for some reason in their business, but I think maybe 80% of the industry and 80% of you have already transferred to doing a lot of your documentation virtually in accounts. So let's just say that you have an account, like this is an account, you need to do something on it. You pull up a document, you'd show it on video, leave your notes via Screencastomatic, and send it off to your client. Let them review the video and make comments back to you using some of these following tools. So let's just say now that you've done the Screencastomatic thing. Everybody's obviously familiar with their cell phone. But many of us have planned and data usage caps and things like that. And there's many, many, many other ways to communicate with people these days that has nothing to do with a traditional phone. And I know that some of you have heard of these ways, but maybe you don't really exactly know how they work in terms of real estate. Like, how are you going to leverage these tools today to perhaps transform your business into a digital business for very low or no cost? That's part of what this video is. It's not just talking about tools. It's how do we do this when times are scary. You don't want to spend money. You just don't. So how do we do this cheap or free? So I'm going to move over to a Facebook company called WhatsApp. Okay. WhatsApp is a way, if somebody else has WhatsApp on their telephone, you can get pretty seamless phone calls going. As a matter of fact, you can oftentimes call from WhatsApp to a telephone number for free. WhatsApp is a really fast, efficient way to do a lot of different types of communicating over the phone. You can do messaging. Here's all the things that WhatsApp is used for. And here's the funny thing for that world out there. I'm very blessed. I've had a chance to travel. Many of the people watching this probably haven't traveled in a long time, so they won't know this. But anybody who's traveled knows WhatsApp. It's consistently what you use when you're out of the country. Like if you're out of the US, you're always using WhatsApp because it's free. It works pretty seamlessly. It works a lot better than almost all other services. Again, I want to emphasize it's a Facebook-owned company. So, and it's taken over things like Google Hangouts. Like it's really the most popular communication app outside of Skype, which is also for, I use Skype and I have a free account. Anybody else that has another Skype account can make calls. The only challenge with that I have with Skype is, and it is a really efficient productivity tool. I still run my company meetings on it. Where Skype excels and WhatsApp does not in terms of communication is, let's say you want 2 or 3 people on a phone call, I find Skype to be better. So if for some reason you and your customers want to have a group call, husband, wife, different computers, whatever, and everybody needs to get on the phone, Google Hangouts or Skype, okay, to do that. All of these tools are downloaded easily. Even if there is a cost to Skype, it's extremely cheap. So these are different ways to communicate. You also have Facebook Messenger and Instagram. All these different ways are ways that people message each other virtually. And I'm hoping at this point that I'm probably not really, I'm just talking about tools. So I want to make sure that everybody has a good toolkit in front of them. So each one of these things kind of does something a little bit different. One of the things that Facebook does that is going to be wildly valuable in terms of cheap, easy guerrilla marketing tactics to use during the coronavirus, it's going to do Facebook Live, all right? Take your camera, you can aim it around a home, and guess what? Your client who can be on the phone with you can walk through the home and do a virtual tour with you. They can be someplace else. They can ask their questions. Apple has a version of this called FaceTime. So you've got Apple, you've got Facebook. These apps are built into your phone. They don't require any special downloads or any extra money. So if you're wondering how do you show a home, in terms of these tools, it would be a smartphone, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. I do believe that WhatsApp will allow you to do this in a very short way. I'd probably go with Facebook Live before that. I'm not 100% sure. If there's anybody who's watching this video who wants to leave a more educated thought inside the comments, please do so. Last but not least, let's say that you're getting to the point where virtually it's now time, like we're not looking anymore, we're now making offers. All right? Contracts, I would assume that at this point everybody understands email and how to upload and download agreements through email and then shoot those off to your client and so on and so forth. There's a couple of other tools that you can use that might be helpful. It's kind of, I feel like that may be going overkill, but I do want to let you know that you can use BombBomb. BombBomb will allow you to record video and throw it into an email. Okay, it's not a link to a video, it's actual video inside an email. If some of you are looking to get immediate engagement, like right now, then BombBomb is a great virtual tool to leverage video and then email somebody. YouTube, okay? YouTube is a fantastic tool to do things like, let's just say that you're not going to get a client on the phone, right? You're not going to get them on the phone with you, but you think that they're interested, they want to see the tour, of the home. How do you do that? How do you make all that happen? And how do you do it cheaply? Again, I'm just a big believer in guerrilla marketing. Let's pivot and use what we can, and if we can, let's do it all for free. YouTube will allow you to upload the videos at no charge. Almost every phone, Apple, Android carries YouTube apps. It's seamless to use. I do it all the time. The video segments, the only hassle is Wi-Fi signal to upload longer YouTube videos. Okay, however, once they get there onto YouTube, you can then send that link very seamlessly to your customer. And now, as long as maybe the homeowners vacate or they give you a lot of social distancing, but literally it should be possible to arrange a completely safe coronavirus friendly tour of a home using these digital tools, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You can also communicate after the fact. And then last but not least, should you get to a point where, and you may have to do this a few different times, I understand it might require a few extra trips to the home. I would prefer to say organize like a tour time, just like you would regularly, where the person virtually would be next to their desktop or their phone or whatever it is, and you're going to walk through the home, maybe upload the video to YouTube or do it live with Facebook Live, either way, or figure out both. But let's say you have to go back and forth. I would suggest you set that appointment, get that back and forth conversation going with the client available and ready, and then you do the tour. Now let's say the client is there and ready to do some business. At that point, use my favorite tool that I use for my own company called DocuSign. These contracts are perfectly legal as far as I know, and I don't know the ins and outs of each and every single real estate market across the country, but I do know that the vast majority of real estate markets that I'm familiar with all allow DocuSigns. Okay, so that would just be a digital scan of the paperwork, sending it over to the client, getting them to sign it virtually, getting them to send it back to you. Okay, there's probably a lot well, there's not probably, there's a lot of documentation that goes inside real estate. There might be a couple of extra steps inside the transaction process. I know that .loop and there's other services that might help fill in the blanks, but I'm 100% sure that in terms of the basic, can I get my documents to somebody, can I get them signed, and can I get them back? The answer is yes. You can do all that virtually without anybody ever having touched anything, which means that it's perfectly safe, and you can once again do some business in the days of the coronavirus. So this is my very brief selection of tools. I'm going to put them in the description of the video. I may very well add some stuff to the description of the video. I'm kind of hoping this kicks off a dialogue on my YouTube channel. Regardless, if you found this useful, if there was anything in here that made you think a little bit differently about it, please do me a favor, thumbs up the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're a customer and you're watching this, you should already be subscribed to my YouTube channel. So if you're not, subscribe now. Thanks. Bye.